Well, hello, boys and girls. It's been such a long time since I've seen you. I'm having a nice cup of tea and one of my favourite biscuits, a jammy Dodger biscuit. I haven't seen you for so long. I've missed coming into schools. And I thought, well, I wonder, can we have a story today? Perhaps we can have a story today. Do you know, I've just been reading with my cup of tea. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've just read that the tea that I drink, I like PG Tips, that the tea comes all the way from India, nearly 5,000 miles away. Let's have a look. So here's my favourite tea, 5,000 miles. I bought this in Tesco's, just down the road. Gosh, there must be a lot of things. Let's have a look. I don't know. I'm going to open it. Let's have a look what's inside. Don't do this in the house now. This is something for me to do. Let's have a look what's in here. Well, these are all the tea leaves. Now, the tea leaves grow in India like ordinary leaves, like you'd see from the tea bush, and people pick them and dry them, and then they're ground up and people taste to check that the tea is the right taste and everything. Then they're packed and shipped onto big, huge containers, sent across the world to the different countries. The lorries pick them up from the docks, and the lorries bring them to the shops, and that's where we get our tea from. So an incredible amount of work, and 5,000 miles has gone into my little tea bag. So it made me think, let's have a look what goes into my jammy Dodger then. Let's clear the way. Let's have a look. Well, jammy Dodgers are made with biscuits. So it got me thinking, what goes into a biscuit? Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at some of the ingredients on the biscuit. We've got flour, and flour comes from the grain, from the wheat, and it's ground up, it's taken to the miller, it's ground up into flour. We need butter. Butter comes from the dairy, from a farm, and it comes from the cows, from milk. We need milk. Milk comes from the cows, doesn't it? We need sugar. Sugar comes from a plant or a cane, sometimes in this country, sometimes a long, long way away. Goodness gracious me. Look how many things we need for our biscuit already. And that's just for the outside. Oh, we need one more thing. We need eggs that come from the chickens, again from the farm. Lots of these things come from the farm. Let's have a look on the inside. Well, on the inside is a tiny little bit, my favourite bit of custard. So custard, well, you can have it in a tin like this. There's flavourings in it. It's got milk, it's got sugar. So custard is inside them. And then there's a little bit of jam. That's a nice part as well, isn't it? And we clean our teeth after we've had biscuits. And jam is made from fruit that grows and water and sugar. So lots and lots of different things go into making my jammy Dodger biscuit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a dŵr and water, 8. But a jammy Dodger can remind us of all sorts of other things too, because a jammy Dodger is round, and the earth is round, the world is round. It's a good thing, and the earth is a good thing. God created it with enough for everybody, enough food for everybody. And the Jammy Dodger's got a little surprise, and every day has a little surprise. Even when things are a bit unsure, even when things are a bit sad and confused, like they are now, every day has a little surprise. And the little surprise in the Jammy Dodger is the heart. That's the heart that shows that we are loved. God loves us very, very much. That's why he made a beautiful world with all these wonderful things for us to enjoy. And it's important that we talk to God. It's important that we ask God for things that we need. In a prayer we say, "Give us this day our daily bread." We ask God for the food we need. But the important thing we must do is always to say, "Thank you." Diolch. Thank you is such a small word, but it means such a lot. And if we were in school now, I know that you'd be singing some of those wonderful hymns and the songs. You'd be singing the big red combine harvester to remind me of the wheat. You'd be singing the samba song. You'd be singing cauliflowers fluffy and cabbages green. All those lovely things that we associate with harvest. We're in St. Thomas's Church. And St. Thomas's Church, people have been coming here for hundreds of years. It's the church that's by the castle in Neath. It's the church that was built around the same time as the castle. So people have come for hundreds of years to talk to God, to ask him for things and to say thank you. And this week we're getting ready for harvest. So come with me and let's have a look at the harvest loaf and the special things that we've got in church to show you. So we're coming up now to that special place in church, and we've got the altar rail here. I'm going to go behind the altar rail and show you what we've put near this table where we have a special meal in church. It's called an altar. Let's have a look to see what's at the foot of the altar here. Well, first of all, you can see these two beautiful sheaves of wheat. And they've been gathered together, ready to take to the mill, to be ground. All these little sheaves, these little ears of wheat will come off, and the miller will grind them down to make the flour to make our bread. So that's a sheaf of wheat, and there's two of them there. And also, at harvest time, we remember we join together with what's called a harvest loaf. If you look, I'm going to pick it up, and if you look really, really carefully, you'll see something on this harvest loaf. It's very heavy, and it was made especially for harvest. And if you look carefully, can you see a few little eyes there with currants, made out of currants? And if you follow, can you see a little tail? Harvest mice. So the baker who baked this, very clever baker who baked this, put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 llagoden bach, 4 little mice onto our harvest loaf. So I'm going to say a little prayer now, and then it'll soon be time for us to be together again, I hope, in school. So dear God, thank you for our world. Thank you for all the good things that you put for us in this world. Help us always to remember to say thank you. Help us always to remember to look out for those who are in need and to share what we have. Look after us. Look after our teachers and our families until we see one another again. Amen.